Early first quarter, Clark catches it left wing. 3-ball was going early. Couple possessions later, steals the Beckers pass. This time it's to the rack. Easy.
From the opening tip, Caitlin Clark sent a message. "You're on my court now." Just minutes into the game, she drains a smooth left wing 3, then rips a pass straight from Paige Beckers and takes it coast to coast for an effortless layup. That sequence wasn't just about points. It was about tone. Paige might have the hype, but Caitlin had the grip on this game from the start. The Fever were up early, and it all stemmed from Clark's energy. She wasn't waiting to feel things out. She came in with her foot on the gas. Paige? She hit shots, sure, but she didn't control the tempo. That's the difference between a scorer and an engine. Clark dictates the pace of an entire team. In 2 possessions, she already had a 3, a steal, a transition bucket, and a mental edge. That's how you dismantle a star. Not with words, but with actions. And Caitlin wasn't just scoring. She was doing it all while reading the game like a veteran chess player. This was round 1 of the Paige versus Caitlin battle, and Clark made it crystal clear. She wasn't here for a duel. She was here for domination.
PE with 5 steals. She has 5 steals in the Cookie Monster PE. What Caitlin Clark does, and by the way, what people didn't understand was when Caitlin Clark was off the floor, the team kept running. Caitlin Clark sets the tempo, and the team didn't try to stop the tempo. It wasn't like Wheeler's in to slow the game down. No, they kept going. They kept going.
Who knew domination came in blue fuzz and sneakers? Caitlin Clark rocked the Cookie Monster Kobe PEs, and then turned into an actual monster on defense. 5 steals. Not 1, not 2, 5. That's not just active hands. That's straight up hunting. She wasn't letting anyone get comfortable. Not Paige, not Quinterly, not anybody wearing wings blue. And what makes this clip so deadly is what it represents. Caitlin's defense is now matching her offense. For all the talk that she can't guard, that she's too slow or too small, Clark has quietly been leveling up. 5 steals doesn't happen by accident. That takes court vision, anticipation, and total effort. And let's be real, she didn't need to play defense. She could have coasted and still dropped 13 assists. But no, she strapped in, forced turnovers, and turned defense into momentum. That's scary for the rest of the league. If Caitlin Clark is now locking down and facilitating offense at a historic rate, good luck. This wasn't just a masterclass in scoring, it was a masterclass in presence, the kind that turns a game into a statement. Cookie Monster might be blue, but on this night, he was pure fire.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown, Fever.
Up in the air, gives Caitlin Clark the target. Barely over the fingertips of...
Here's the moment that blew up Twitter. Clark blocks Quinterly, instantly grabs the ball, and launches a touchdown pass that threads the needle like an NFL quarterback. Sophie Cunningham catches it in stride, lays it in, and suddenly the Fever look like the Kansas City Chiefs. This wasn't basketball. This was artistry in motion, and it proves what every Clark supporter has been saying for years. Her court vision is generational. You don't teach this. You don't drill this. You either have it or you don't. And Caitlin Clark has it in abundance. Paige Beckers can shoot, no doubt. But Caitlin can do this. She changes the geometry of the floor. When she's locked in, the game bends around her. It's not just the pass. It's the timing, the angle, the guts to throw it with that much confidence. She turns broken plays into highlights. This clip, this is why fans show up. This is why Indiana Fever tickets are skyrocketing. The league has never seen anything like this. Paige Beckers is a great player. Caitlin Clark is a walking highlight reel with a brain hardwired for chaos. And she just made the wings her latest victims.
Where Paige overtakes Caitlin in a number of years, but that world is not right now. That world is not right now. And right now, there are so many, there is such a big difference. There is such a big difference between Caitlin.
Ouch. You know it's bad when your assist to opponent ratio gets called out. This line might have been said as a joke, but it hits like truth. Paige Beckers, as skilled as she is, looked lost when the game got fast. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark was orchestrating everything like a seasoned maestro. This moment underlines the reality people don't want to admit. Clark isn't just better right now, she's miles ahead. Paige was tossing passes that somehow found Clark more than her own teammates. That's not just an off night, that's a system failure. The game moved too fast, and Paige was playing catch-up. And the kicker? This wasn't even a career night for Clark. She played only 24 minutes. But while Paige was struggling to organize the offense, Caitlin was generating nearly 40 points. We're not slandering Paige. We're pointing out the brutal facts. Paige Beckers might have the shot making, but Caitlin has the whole playbook. Every cut, every tempo change, every transition, it runs through her. There's levels to this. And this moment just proved that Paige still has a few to climb. Because while she was trying to find her rhythm, Caitlin Clark was building a symphony.
Fever up by 4. Clark on defense this time, blocking the layup attempt. Then finding a bit down the court, Sophie Cunningham with the finish on the other end. Fever go up 6. Couple possessions later, Indiana roller. Cunningham to Natasha Howard for the lay. Later in the second, Clark, 3-ball, give it at.
This is where the floodgates opened. Caitlin Clark turns defense into offense in under 5 seconds. Again, blocks a drive, instantly turns up court, and throws a full court dart to Sophie Cunningham for the finish. But the most insane part? This play wasn't a highlight in isolation. It was the microcosm of a 21-point domination in a single quarter. The Fever didn't just outplay Dallas, they humiliated them. And Clark was the axis. Her ability to convert stops into surgical strikes made the Wings look like they were stuck in slow motion. What's wild is that this wasn't even her flashiest dime, but it showed how deeply the Fever trust her. One block from Clark and the entire roster sprints up court because they know that ball is coming, and they know it'll arrive on time. This quarter was the biggest point differential Indiana has had since 2016. That's not random. That's Clark turning a team into a storm. And while Paige was trying to ISO mid-range jumpers, Clark was creating a highlight reel on both ends of the floor. The contrast couldn't have been clearer. One star puts up stats, the other reshapes the game.
Backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, fading away.
Let's talk versatility, because this clip shattered one of the laziest myths about Caitlin Clark. For months, critics said she's not physical enough, not a post threat, can't create when things get tight. And then she pulls this out. Clark, back to the basket, working against JJ Quinterly, spins, fades, and hits a cold-blooded jumper with the shot clock winding down. No screen, no help, just pure bag. And you could hear the silence after that shot. Even Paige stands had to admit, yeah, that was nasty. The truth is, Caitlin's evolving. Game by game, she's adding wrinkles. And if you think the post fade is just a gimmick, ask Quinterly how it felt to get ISO'd by a guard known for bombs from the logo. This wasn't just a pretty bucket, it was a statement. Clark doesn't just run the break or make pretty passes. She can ISO you, bully you, and break you down when the clock's ticking. Paige Beckers might be slick, but this moment showed the power of Clark's unpredictability. 1 second she's chucking from 30 feet. The next, she's bullying guards on the block. Pick your poison. Either way, you're cooked.
Caitlin has a 30-2 assist-to-turnover ratio. Caitlin Clark in the last 2 games has a 22-4 assist-to-turnover ratio. And there was a 4-quarter period, by the way, where Caitlin Clark and this team pushing the ball.
Let that sink in. 16 assists in 24 minutes. That's the level we're talking about. And here's the craziest part. She didn't get 16. Not because she made bad reads, not because she held the ball too long, but because 3 teammates flat out missed wide open layups. If they finish those plays, she's rewriting the record books in under 3 quarters. That's unheard of. While most rookies are still figuring out rotations and timing, Caitlin Clark is dropping dimes like a point guard savant. This is where the Paige versus Caitlin debate collapses. Paige scores, Clark controls, Paige finds shots, Clark finds players, and she does it at a historic rate. If Caitlin played 36+ minutes like most stars, we might be talking 20 assist games. Her passing isn't just flashy, it's efficient, high IQ, and relentless. She doesn't just make the right read, she makes the perfect read. And the scary part? She's just getting started. If you still think she's just a shooter from Iowa, you're living in the past. This ain't college anymore. Caitlin Clark is redefining what a rookie guard can be in the WNBA, and she's doing it with the clock barely ticking.
Caitlin Clark, Indiana rolls them 102-83. Clark is the first player with 10 points, 10 assists, and 5 steals in a game this season. It's her 17th career game with 10 assists, more such games than every...
You want receipts? Here they are. Caitlin Clark just notched a stat line no other player in the entire league has hit this season. And she's done it more times in her short career than the entire Indiana Fever franchise. Ever. Read that again. That's not just impressive, it's generational. Most rookies are happy to survive. Clark is breaking franchise records like they're practice drills. 10 points, 10 assists, 5 steals. That's what you expect from a league MVP in her prime, not a first-year pro. This is a rookie rewriting expectations in real time. You can talk about shooting slumps or turnovers all you want, but at the end of the day, Caitlin Clark is doing things no other Fever player has ever done. She's literally redefining what's possible for a guard in this league. And while Paige Beckers had a solid 21-point game, she didn't come close to the all-around impact Clark had. Caitlin didn't just win the game, she owned the floor. Offense, defense, pace, vision. This was a masterclass. And the stat sheet doesn't lie. She's not just different, she's historic.
Caitlin Clark showed why, when you give her the ball, the Fever are the best show in basketball. Like, the Fever are the best show in basketball. And that's the thing. When the more Caitlin has the ball, the more often Kelsey goes 8 for 12. Instead of 8 for 17, Caitlin goes 8 for 12. Or Kelsey goes 8 for 12. Kelsey gets her points anyway. When Caitlin has...
No cap, no filter, just truth. Caitlin Clark didn't just outplay Paige Beckers. She reminded the whole league who the real draw is. This clip sums it up perfectly. When Clark is on the court, the Fever become must-watch TV. That's not hyperbole. That's reality. They are the show. Every time she touches the ball, something happens. A laser pass, a logo 3, a no-look dish, a steal into a touchdown dime. The game comes alive. And what makes this even wilder? She's doing this on a team that, a year ago, was irrelevant. Now they're leading broadcasts, packing arenas, and showing up on TikTok Reels daily, because Clark is that magnetic. Meanwhile, Paige played well, but no one's talking about Dallas as the best show. That's the difference. Star versus phenomenon. Solid versus transcendent. Clark didn't just beat Beckers, she buried the conversation. She's the most electric guard in basketball right now. Full stop. And if you're still pretending there's a debate, you're watching with your eyes closed.
On open layups, lads. On open layups. Caitlin Clark generated, I think it was 2 3-pointers. So 26 plus 2 is 28. She generated like 40 points. And this was Caitlin off. She only shot 12 shots. She only took 12 shots because it's not falling. She played 24 minutes. She played 24 minutes and generated 40 points.
Let's be blunt. This is superhuman efficiency. Caitlin Clark took just 12 shots and generated 40 points. That includes her scoring, her assists, her transition play. That is almost 2 points per minute. Who else is doing that? Not just in the WNBA. Anywhere? Nobody. It's the kind of stat line that makes coaches salivate and opponents panic. She didn't even have her best shooting night, yet still controlled the game like a maestro with cheat codes. While Paige was trying to force contact for buckets, Caitlin was manufacturing offense like a one-woman system. And here's the kicker. This was in limited minutes. Imagine what she would have done with a full 36-minute burn. This is why the hype is real. This is why she breaks records. This is why arenas sell out when she's in town. Caitlin Clark isn't just a scorer. She's a walking offensive engine. And the Dallas Wings just got run over by it. So let's talk about what really happened here. This wasn't just a game. It was a moment. The first professional clash between two of the most hyped women's basketball players of the last decade. Caitlin Clark versus Paige Beckers. And what did we get? A blowout, a blueprint, a masterclass. Paige had her moments, tough jumpers, pretty floaters, some grit on defense. She finished with 21 points. On paper, it looks solid. But that's the problem. Paige's game only shows up on paper. Caitlin's game shows up everywhere. On the stat sheet, on the highlights, on the scoreboard, and most importantly, in the rhythm of the game itself. Clark controlled everything. She dictated the pace. She read the floor like she was playing chess while the Wings played checkers. And the efficiency? Absurd. She only shot the ball 12 times, played 24 minutes, but she generated 40 points. That's not good. That's outrageous. And while Paige is still learning how to be the lead option on a poorly built roster, Clark is out here making teammates better, breaking franchise records, and turning regular season games into primetime theater. She's not just a rookie, she's the system. So now we have to ask, is there really a debate? Is it really Clark versus Paige? Or are we witnessing something else entirely, something bigger? Because if this is what Caitlin Clark looks like only 3 months into her WNBA career, what happens when she peaks? Let that simmer. And now it's your turn. Who wins this rivalry long term? Will Paige Beckers ever catch up? Or did Caitlin Clark just slam the door shut for good? Drop your take in the comments, because if Paige wants revenge, she better start running. Because Clark, she's already 5 plays ahead.